What could a small coin be used for? The man used a knife blade controlled by a matchbox to pry the coin open and found a slip of paper containing a wallet inside. While he methodically examined it with a magnifying glass, CIA agents had already sped to the building below. The US and the Soviet Union were in the height of their Cold War rivalry, with the delicate relationship between the two nations constantly being tested. Abel, a Soviet spy, spent his days wandering American streets as a painter, chasing poetry and distant dreams, while covertly cooperating with agents. When the CIA agents knocked on his door, Abel appeared as a disheveled older man. The agents didn't fall for it. They conducted a thorough search of his home. Because Abel had little time to change, he hadn't destroyed the intelligence. Taking advantage of the agents rifling through his belongings, he calmly continued his excuse of cleaning his painting boards, secretly disposing of the intelligence. Although the agents ultimately found nothing, Abel's identity was exposed, and he could not avoid imprisonment. The CIA tried to recruit him, but he refused without hesitation. Left with no choice, the US put Abel on trial. Due to public scrutiny, they provided him with an excellent lawyer, Jim, though it was mostly a formality. However, after their first meeting, Jim sincerely connected with Abel. Believing that everyone deserved a defense, Jim ensured that Abel received a humanitarian trial, which earned Abel's trust. Yet the public did not approve. Citizens began to boycott the spy's lawyer. When Jim tried to hail a cab after work, he was refused. The agents, unable to extract any useful intelligence from Abel, began following Jim after work, hoping to indirectly obtain information. Even though his client was a spy, Jim stubbornly adhered to professional ethics, not revealing a word of Abel's privacy. During the preliminary trial, Jim identified a loophole in the warrantless arrest and tried to have Abel released, but the judge ruthlessly rejected it. Despite the dire situation, Abel faced it calmly. When he chose this profession, he had long accepted the risks of life and death. The judge ultimately sentenced Abel for espionage. On the day of the verdict, Abel was to be condemned to death. Because Jim defended a spy, the public viewed him unfavorably. Sitting on a bus, if Jim was recognized by strangers, he would receive condemning glares. Nevertheless, he comforted Abel, assuring him that he had not yet given up on defending him. Jim privately visited the judge, appealing emotionally and logically, hoping the judge would be lenient. He reasoned that if a spy from their country were later captured, he could be used as a bargaining chip. The judge, pondering Jim's words, hurried to carry out justice. Jim's appeal had an effect. When the judge announced the sentence for Abel, considering humanitarian factors, the death penalty was commuted to 30 years in prison, avoiding the cruel electrocution. The court erupted with murmurs of dissent. Clearly, people did not want Abel to survive. For a moment, even the judge's gavel could not quell the audience's uproar. Abel also grew concerned for Jim's own safety.